Hello everyone, my name is Putty, I love dentists. Welcome to 2025. This is Difficult Terrain. This is the Admand Expedition, and I'm joined as always by Marshall. Marshall, how you doing?
I am doing wonderful. It is the 2025th year of our Lord, as you said, and I think
Way to bring
every
back
year
the podcast vibes, just in case they thought they clicked on the wrong podcast.
Yeah,
Gotta get that reference in there.
And I think that every year it just gets better. Every year,
life, humanity, world,
everything cool. Just gets a little bit better. I think we can all agree that, and we don't need to say anything more about that. Everything is just always getting better.
New is always better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I always feel weird in the first few days of a new year. I don't know about you. I think
I know what you mean. Like you're waiting for stuff to start up again, maybe.
Yeah, like there's a part of me that feels positive, but there's also a part of me that feels like, oh, I've got to I should probably try to.
We've got another year of something. Yeah, another year has passed.
Another year of life. I've got to go for another year of this shit. I'm probably not going to die for a while. Like, that's brutal.
This is the most nonplussed I've been about a new year in a very long time. Like I said to you before we started, I had a bit of an early night on New Year's Eve. So I slept right through it. I woke up the next day. I sort of just got on with what I was doing. I'm energy-wise, I'm at a very low point these last couple weeks. Not necessarily in like a sadness way, but just like low, very slow, sleepy. Yeah, just not. The opposite of hyper, I guess. Very inactive and very unenthused. And I haven't really noticed the fact that we're in a different year. It doesn't really change anything for me.
Wow. Yeah, I noticed immediately. I felt it, like the wind's shifting. No, I don't know. I only noticed it because of the calendar. I mean, it's definitely, there's no reason to give any significance to the first few days of a new year. It's completely arbitrary, right? We could set it in March. Or
and other cultures do.
The length of the year is not arbitrary, don't get me wrong. I mean,
sure.
There are such a thing as years, but the day that we say we've made a full revolution around the sun is completely arbitrary, because we're always making every second we make a full revolution around the sun from a year ago. So it doesn't, it's like many milestones, it's invented.
Are you an anti-calendarist? Is that what I'm hearing? Are you making an argument for the abolition of the Gregorian calendar?
Oh, I don't know about that. I think people are bad at learning new things, and so True. I don't think we would be good. I have heard proposals, and I think this is interesting, that we should get rid of our years and use a different yearing system, which I think would be easier for people to learn. I think teaching people new months and new days, they did that in the French Revolution, I think. Like, they tried to invent new months and new days, and I don't think it caught. I don't think it took, because that's really fucking hard to teach everyone an entirely new calendar.
I think Americans should do that, because, I mean, we're so far away from Rome now that I think, an American...
the new empire should
American calendar itself. With Trump, with president, flavored months.
Yeah. Washington.
Obama-tember.
Obama-tember. Oh my god. Yes, I agree. No, that seems right. That seems right. Yeah. But the proposal I heard was that we should change our year to, I forget exactly what it is. It was something like, instead of 2000, it ends up being really simple. Instead of it being the year 2025, it is the year, what is it? Something like 14,025 or 12,025. I forget the exact proposal. And the whatever the end up year is, it's supposed to be roughly the point at which the first discovered human settlement was built in, I think, Turkey or something like that. It's like really, they discovered it's really, really old. It's way older than like Babylon, that sort of thing. It's like, right. I don't know. It's really fucking old. Anyways, the proposal was like, we should have a calendar that starts with a universal human achievement rather than a religious, a specific religious date. I kind of like the idea. I don't think anyone's going to go for it. Christians would lose their fucking minds.
I mean, this isn't very logical, but I instinctually think that's pretty unwieldy in terms of like it's such a big number.
It's a big number.
Yeah.
You got to write another.
I guess it doesn't really.
You just got to write one more number though.
You're right. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's
You're not wrong.
But you make a good point that a lot of systems we'd have to reprogram them. Y2K all over again.
True. Yeah.
My God, you know, the
I'm definitely down for maybe something that keeps it shorter though. Maybe we like start.
I think you're saying
naming centuries or millennias even, and then just take those out of the year entirely. Like just take for granted that we're in, you know, the this millennia and just call it year 25 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that would probably be better for future historians anyway. Like if we said, because like giving a random year means that future historians have to like, okay, they have to like date it based on all these different calendar systems. But if you say like in the millennia of, you know, and you name some sort of event, future historians will be like, oh, we know about that. We read a book about it. Here we go. We know where they are.
I think I encountered some of this when I looked at the Russian Empire, because I'm pretty sure they didn't adopt the calendar we use today until at some point in the 20th century. So I think there are date discrepancies between Russian Empire sources, even like less than 100 years ago, or around 100 years ago, or just over 100 years ago. God, I'm old. That are like it's the same format as the modern calendar, but the dates are different because they use a slightly different version of it. Which I find interesting, but yeah, probably not useful. My hot take in this sort of field, and I think I've probably talked to you about this before, and I understand that it would be a massive revolution and an upheaval,
and people would have to learn new things.
Kind of, but I think it's so much simpler. We need a universal time zone. I think the time zones have served their purpose.
Okay, good. This is different than a calendar. We keep the calendar. Roman, Christian, maybe American. We maybe change it to an American calendar, but we make it a universal time zone.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. I mean, yeah, because I don't think it's that crazy, because it would just mean that you know, whatever the base time is set as, everyone else in other parts of the world would get used to.
Think of it differently. Yeah.
Yeah, they'd be like, oh, well, 3 a.m. is the middle of the day. You know, and they would just...
Yeah, we wouldn't call it 3 a.m. though, would we? We'd call it just 3. Because it's not going to be the morning in every other country.
Wouldn't that be funny, though, if we kept calling it 3 a.m?
Would. Political...
Just to defy you, buddy, we might do that here in America.
Political hot potato, though, is...
Which
country gets to keep their current times, basically? Because everyone else is going to have to get you... Go on. Yep.
I guarantee you no one's going to like giving up that. Because like,
I agree.
So like Europe is going to say, well, the GMT is the current base, so we should make it that. And then China's going to want to, you know, put their foot in the race.
We should put it on the line at the Olympics in one of the years. Like, it should be whoever wins. Or we could... that would be confusing. But it'd be kind of funny if we changed it every Olympics. Yeah.
every Olympics. So
every 4 years.
Summer or winter? Or...
Oh, well, nobody cares about the winter. I'm kidding. Okay. Actually, we said it on the Paralympics.
Like the winter Olympics.
A lot of people do like the Winter Olympics. But no Winter Olympics, no Summer Olympics. It's set based on the Paralympics.
The Paralympics. Okay. Cool. That happens every 2 years, I believe. So
really? I guess that makes sense. There'd be a winter and a summer. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah,
it doesn't fix the problem. They happen at the same time.
Okay, part of this reform is that we're getting rid of the Winter Olympics, and all of the Olympics happen at the same time.
Why?
Because we now, because it would be good for different countries, because we would host the Summer and the Winter Olympics at the same time, but the Summer Olympics and the Winter Olympics would be in different countries.
Well, actually, that makes sense, because you could do the winter in the southern hemisphere and the summer in the northern hemisphere.
Exactly what I'm proposing.
Or vice versa.
And you would swap. You'd probably do you do it in August and then December, and then August and then December, so that it's not always in the same places.
I like it.
Cool.
Yes. But no, the solution is it's America. That's the United States.
Well, let's see if
America
still exists in 4 years before we
Let's
start.
see. No, that's true. That's a good true.
Yeah,
that's true. I mean, I don't know. I would be wary about that. I think America is going to take the rest of the world down with it if it goes down. I don't think it's going to go gracefully.
Do you not think there could be like a split though?
Oh, like that movie, Civil War.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
No, I've seen clips from it, but
I heard it was kind of. I wanted to watch it, but then I heard it was kind of bad. I heard it was not that good. Anyway,
I assumed it would be bad, and then I heard it was kind of good.
Oh, well, it might be that actually, in a way, we heard it was the same quality, but we set our expectations differently.
Slightly differently, yeah.
It's a mid-tier movie that I thought was going to be good, and you thought was going to be bad, and so depending on your yeah,
neither of us have seen it, so neither of us could really
so
call
this is all nonsense.
Yeah,
but yeah, what? So what? America split? I don't know. I always think that
it did it once.
Probably, yeah, it did. It did. I don't know. I mean, I've always heard people talk about this, and I'm not really sure where it would split because people are going to say, like, okay, well, these are the red states and these are the blue states. But really, most of the cultural divide is between cities and urban areas, right? And it's not really clear how you could split a country along those lines. What would that look like? You know, it would... I mean, for one thing, most of the agricultural resources would go to one country, and most of the financial and industrial resources would go to the other. That would be a bad setup for both. Like, the rich new urban America would have to import all of their food, and the agricultural America would go back to a fucking, like, feudal state overnight because they have almost no industry. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the feudal thing would be good for their military strength.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe. It is interesting. Also, like, there are certain weird things about, you know, certain military bases are in urban areas and certain. I don't know. I don't. You know, who knows?
Maybe instead of like a two-way split, all the states just split.
Yeah. Well, hey, that actually maybe seems more possible to me than a two-way split, or if not, all of them splitting in a very fractious way. Like, blocks. I could see.
Yeah.
You know, Texas and California on their own, and I could see certain blocks like New England or, you know, that sort of thing. Maybe that happens. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds.
Okay. Last question before we start D&D in this vein.
Which state will I move to when they all split? Like,
what odds are you giving for in the next 5 years Canada becoming a United States state?
Oh,
because I know that's on the political agenda right now.
Is it?
Yeah. You haven't heard your upcoming president speaking about this?
I have so zoned out the past 2 weeks. Has he talked about making Canada a state? Are you serious?
Multiple times. He keeps calling Trudeau Governor Trudeau of the great state of Canada.
That is interesting in that it would immediately become the most powerful U.S. state overnight. I think. Well, no, I think California would still be. This is crazy, but I still think California would be more populous and richer than all of Canada. But it would be close to one of the most powerful U.S. states overnight. I don't think that's very likely. But I have heard. I mean, then again, this is just coming from the same madman, so who knows? I have heard that there are interests in the new administration that are very interested in sending military forces into Mexico to combat drug cartels, and that seems like a realistic. I need to be careful with the word realistic here. That seems like a realistic scenario in which a military-style coup occurs, right? If you are,
you might not be able to answer this, but are these plans implying consent of the Mexican government or not?
Oh, I don't think they were.
Okay,
I don't think it's. I think it's the kind of thing where, I mean, you know, Republicans. You know, it's like they want it. they might not say it, but I knew that she wanted it, or I knew that Mexico wanted it, and it's it's going to be fine. I think they assume that Mexico will be into it because who wouldn't?
They don't like the cartels either.
They don't like the cartels, and so it's good for everyone. No, but if that happens, I think that would be really scary if U.S. troops invade Mexico.
On the kind of I don't know a lot about this. I'm not saying like I've read up on this, but I get bits, drips, and drabs of news. I think there are upcoming Canadian elections, and I think the likely victor is very pro-Trump. So
that's interesting. I think it's interesting in the sense that a pro-Trump candidate would also presumably be nationalist.
Yeah,
like a Canadian nationalist. So it's that's kind of a weird combo because they're going to be more likely to like side with Trump, but are they going to be more likely to to sell their countries? No, I don't know. Maybe.
Everyone's got a price.
That's true, and I also think a lot of people that claim to be nationalists are kind of really just for example, there's an extent to which I think Trump has created a nationalist machine around him. How nationalist is Trump himself? I don't know.
I mean, the best example of that is the religious stuff, right? Like prior to becoming a politician, that man did not care
and still
about
to this day, there's no evidence that he is religious. I mean, he still has been asked multiple times, like, "What's your favorite book of the Bible?" And his response is always, "I love the whole thing, all of them." I love, he can't even fucking come on. How has one of his millions of evangelical supporters not sat down with him and be like, okay, man, we got to train you for a response. Say Matthew or say fucking anything. Just say a thing. Memorize
Here's a list. Pick one.
Memorize 2 lines of the Bible so you have a goddamn response when people ask you this. It's so crazy that they haven't done that yet.
I don't need to, is his response. They don't care.
I don't need to. No, they really don't. That's the thing. They really don't. No. But yeah, so he's created this Christian nationalist machine around him, and yet I think in many ways he is just a cynical grifter who
for sure
does not care about the United States or Christianity. So it's kind of, I mean, who knows? I don't know anything about this.
I'm willing to be a little bit more charitable. I definitely think the grift is there, but I actually think he cares more about ego and legacy than money. Because I think if it was just money, he wouldn't do it again. I think he likes the power. I think he likes that sort of idea. Like he treats it like a game that he can win.
That's true. I mean, I guess a power grift, if you will.
Yeah,
not a money grift.
Yeah, like an ego grift, some sort of something like that.
So I'll have to look more into this person that might win the Canadian election. That's spooky. When was their last election?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Because I wonder if this is going to fall into the cycle of all of the incumbents winning this destroyed. Sort of incumbent wave.
Yeah, I mean, Trudeau's got a lot of, from what I understand, Trudeau's got a lot of problems, and I think he's fucked at the next election, no matter who was on the other side. But yeah.
Well, that is rough. Good luck, Canada. I don't know. Hopefully your court system is a little more secure than ours. I mean, that's the really scary thing about being in the U.S. right now. Is that it's like there's almost no checks and balances on this new government that's coming in. If anything, we need a check on our current Supreme Court. And what we have is just a madman entering. So there's just everyone's just throwing gasoline on each other's fires. Anyway. So I hopefully Canada has a stronger, more stable, liberal, and I mean that in a sort of classical sense, Supreme Court. I don't know what their court system looks like, but I think it's more like the British system there. I assume.
I think so.
More British. I don't know. Good luck, Canada. Good luck, everyone.
There is some sort of Commonwealth appeals system, but
the fuck? Like,
yeah, I've
if you're in
seen.
Canada, you can email a judge in Australia.
No. But it's not on every issue, but I'm sure I've seen cases that go up like a Privy Council, Commonwealth. Maybe it's on certain issues, and I don't. Yeah, I think I remember seeing Canada in one of those cases as well. I'll have to look into this. It's definitely not the case that like the final appeal court in Canada is the UK Supreme Court. That's not what I'm saying. But I think there's some. I think the Privy Council, which is like basically a collection of advisors to the monarch. I think there is some sort of like court system, Commonwealth appeals, but I'm sure it's disconnected.
Give, like, advice?
No, they give rulings. Rulings that, depending on your legal philosophy, are binding to certain extents. Yeah.
Depending on your legal. Well, what is it? Depending on the actuality of it, like what does it? Do their rulings impact your everyday life?
Well, the law is a complicated beast, Marshall, and whether or not a law is binding in like principle is always up for debate. Now, in practice, the problem is if you say, laws only matter if they're actually enforced, then unfortunately you find yourself in a situation where very few of the laws on the books of any particular country would be considered laws under that definition. So, especially in international law, where like it's basically all about clout.
So is the Privy Council all about clout?
If I don't have the knowledge to hand right now, but I assume it would be, yes.
Okay.
But clout can be very powerful. I think the United Nations is quite a powerful instrument, but it's all about clout.
That's true. True. It's a clouter. It's.
I think the international. I was about to say International Criminal Court, which I don't. That statement wouldn't hold true, but the international criminal tribunals for Yugoslavia and Rwanda, those were very powerful instruments, but ultimately they were all about. Well, I say they were all about clout. They did put people in prison, so maybe that's a different topic entirely. Anyway.
Yeah, well, I also think that's a case where presumably it becomes less clout and more real power when it is aimed at smaller, less powerful nations, right? Those nations have more reason to comply with international bodies than the United States, which has absolutely no reason to comply with international bodies. They hold most of the cards, so why would they? Or China? Why would China, listen to an international body? I mean, they might. I say why they might. But they don't have to. Whereas if you are a smaller country, there's a sense in which you might have to comply with certain international sanctions or rulings or these kinds of things. So I think it depends. But, okay. So back where there are no elections.
No. And although there is an international organization.
Fuck, what?
The Lord's Alliance, yeah.
Oh, that's fair, yes. Okay, so this is actually a good segue convo.
Okay.
We should have more banter about the Forgotten Realms, because you know a lot about it, and it is the setting you're running in, so you know about your own version of it, obviously quite well. And I know very little about it, so I could always just pick your brain about the Forgotten Realms. What is the Lord's Alliance basically like the UN, or is it more like the European Union?
It is more akin to the European Union. It's a very trade-focused alliance. It's but it's much more powerful than the European Union because it's made up of feudal dictators. So it's able to when the members of the Lord's Alliance are on the same page, it's able to put out some serious military force. They oftentimes will put together coalitions to go and fight threats external to the alliance.
Who would win in a war, the Lord's Alliance or the European Union?
The Lord's Alliance. Oh well,
really?
Yeah, for sure. Well,
because of the magic.
There's a lot of caveats here. It's the magic is a big one. The European Union will have
tanks and guns and
that's it.
Industrialized supply lines.
But the Lord's
Alliance. It's not clear how they're. The question is where they're fighting.
I think the European Union will probably actually end up winning because the Lord's Alliance wouldn't be able to get its sort of consensus together fast enough to deploy its most powerful technology.
I think the real reason is that they would run out of manpower. If you think about how many people probably live in the Forgotten Realms versus how many people live in modern Europe, surely it's...
Remember that the societies of the Forgotten Realms can militarize a much higher percentage of their population than modern Europe can, especially when you consider as far as I'm aware, the European Union doesn't have any military power. It would be up to the individual member states to...
I guess, yes, you're right. Yes, I guess it's more like something like NATO.
NATO would crush the Lord's Alliance in days.
be a Desert Storm situation.
Especially if the Lord's Alliance was far enough away that NATO wouldn't have to deal with the consequences of nuclear fallout. It would be ours. It would be ours.
Even if they cared about that, it would be like, the Lord's Alliance would be like, prepare the Mage Council. We must cast our spells against them. Sir, I'm sorry, but every mage tower in the country has been hit by an airstrike in the last half hour. Every mage is dead.
Yep. Special assassination attempts have succeeded across the nations.
Surely not. Did they not have Barkskin cast? Yes, they did, but the Predator missiles that hit the towers do 5,000 D8 damage.
Very well, we must summon the Tarask. Oh, sir, the Tarask is gone.
The Tarask is fucked. They only had to send one Abrams tank against it.
They sent a small unmanned drone to kite the Tarask, shooting low cost ammunition from the 1940s at it until it died.
1940s. Oh my god. Well, this is an interesting scenario. But so the Lord's Alliance is like this. It's a trade and military alliance. Is that the idea?
Yeah, so essentially it is it's a political alliance of highly powerful rulers across the Sword Coast, and its primary objective is to protect trade between the cities. It's mainly a cities thing, although there are some other structures of member, but mainly trade between the cities, make sure the roads are safe, make sure that they're prospering as much as they can, make sure there are trade regulations in place to make sure there's a fair playing field between the cities and things like that. And of course, when external threats appear that threaten the prosperity of the alliance, then sometimes it can be really slow, but they will try to put together a response to that external threat.
So this last war that happened, did the entire Lord's Alliance sort of mobilize against that, or just some of it?
Yeah, they put together a coalition force and sent it off to try and help.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. Did any of those guys survive? Or did they all just get massacred? Like, did any of them make it back?
Why don't you roll me a history check?
All right, history check.
Yeah.
Here we go. And is Mirabar a member state?
Yes.
Good.
Although due to some old, the fact that the alliance is so old, Mirabar is technically not a member of the Lord's Alliance. It is the Marcon, the ruler of Mirabar, as a person who is a member of the alliance.
Oh, wow. Is that how it works with all the states? That's with all states that are members, it's lords?
Yeah.
Hence, the
Lord's Alliance, yeah.
The Lord's Alliance.
Yeah.
Wow. By the way, your camera is just so blurry today.
I thought you might enjoy it, a little old school, but, I can fix it.
So it was fine at one point, but it started to give me violent headaches. It was so blurry.
Okay, you would know with a 20 about the Battle of Silvery Moon Pass, which was this big push. The Silvery Moon Pass is between the cities of Silvery Moon and the city of Sundabar, and there is a mountain pass between these two great cities of the Silver Marches. They sent the Lord's Alliance forces as well as some other reinforcements through the pass to try and reinforce Sundabar because it was on its last legs. It was getting heavily besieged by the opposition forces. Unfortunately, the coalition forces were ambushed inside the pass, which was fine enough. They were prepared for that. They were expecting a fight. What they weren't expecting was a Rothator, Old White Death, to make an appearance at the battle. Intel was that was unlikely, if not impossible, but the intel was wrong. And Old White Death arrived, caused massive avalanches and rock slides, and caused a brutal massacre. There are stories of survival, but they are few and far between. And that killed political interest in the West to send any more troops to this hellhole.
Yep, that makes sense. It's pretty rough out here. I mean, there's not even a sun anymore, so what's even the use of it? Then again, crops still grow, so...
That's true.
I don't know. How does that work? We'll never know.
Magic.
We've also got some maps here that the audience can see. Hand-drawn. Beautiful, if you will. Truly the stuff of legend. The different floors of the dungeon. And I need to add that XP. You said 200 XP.
200, yeah.
Oh, very good.
You can distribute how you want. You can keep it all for yourself. You can give some to your people.
Hoard it? I'll have to think about that.
Okay.
And I might be able to sell them, you said, right?
The maps? Yeah, absolutely.
What's funny is when I sell these maps, I'm going to be like, okay, so this gives a lot of detail of the areas that we've already looted. See this? And I point to that question mark. That's where the money is.
Yeah. I mean, this is a super common thing in the world, is for adventurers to say, you know what, this is beyond me, but this is, there's value here. Here's my, I mean, in a sense, that's what started this quest off for you. You got sold a map to somewhere that could be valuable. Or Dagnall bought the map. You didn't buy it, but Dagnall did. Off of Ulrich.
That's true.
Yeah. And these are even better.
Yeah, these are better. That's good.
Because they're of the dungeon itself. They can follow these to get to deeper.
And I guess we could sell these along with the map Ulrich had. Because the map Ulrich had was more of a map to the dungeon.
Yep.
And these are maps of the dungeon. The together, it's quite a value. And with the key that I assume opens something up in the forge area that we never got to. That's my guess, my hope. So those three things, plus the key, and I say, hey, I think the key is useful,
Plus the info.
Plus the info. Yeah, we can answer questions.
It's a package, you are selling a quest hook to another group of adventurers.
We're selling opportunity.
Yeah.
It's like a timeshare. You're right. A timeshare is a much better investment.
Where we last left, I think you were resting at the farmer's house whose daughters you saved. Now, I don't think we fully talked about how long you were staying there. Did you want to commit to a long rest?
Fuck it. Yeah. Why not? We're sleepy.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. We can help out at the farm, and it's a good little spot. There's plenty of people there, so hopefully someone will spot something if orcs come again.
Yep.
And we could always track them down.
I've done the rolls. There are no encounters. You can get your long rest.
Wow. Huge.
So one thing I also checked is that I checked your XP on the character sheet. I guess you're not tracking your XP on your character sheet anymore because you've got it on your spreadsheet, right?
Oh, I need to update it.
Cool.
Yes. The XP is 10,860. I could update my character sheet.
So you can definitely level up to level 5 during this long rest.
Yes. Huge. Wow. I don't know what to do about that. I don't even know what to say. I don't know who I am. Do I click this button? This level up button?
You can do, yes. Does it work? It should.
Okay. It showed me the secrets of the universe.
That is what it was meant to, yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, so this says I'm getting some experience points here. I could roll or I could take the average. I think I'm going to roll. Because I remember I made a promise. Well, did I make a promise to you? I don't know. There was some sort of exchange for blood and treasure. I think at the beginning I got like better rolls or something. And now I'm just kind of rolling with it. But you know what? Let's roll with it. Hey, I might get a 10. Might get a 1. Here we go. Hey, that's not too bad.
That's not too bad at all.
Okay. That's above taking the average, so that was a good outcome. So I also get extra attack this level, which is just
Huge.
so beyond hype, so beyond everything. And what else do we get? That's the main thing.
Your proficiency bonus increases by 1.
Proficiency, but yeah, so it's like it's nothing unique to fighter. Well, I guess the extra attack is unique to fighter, but it's like it's not like subclass stuff. It's like these really important kind of big generic milestones like proficiency, extra attack. Yeah, huge. I'm not going to multi-class. That would be crazy. Well, I mean, maybe not, but I think the extra attack is better than anything I can imagine getting.
I tend to find that, like, if you're going to multi-class, you should, and you're playing fighter and you've gotten to 4, you should get to 5 and then start thinking about your multi-class. Because a lot of the power for fighter, it's there, but 5 is the big power spike. Unless you're going to go all the way to, I think it's 12 or maybe it's 9. One of those levels where you get your extra
triple extra attack. Attack 3 times. That's crazy. Okay, yes. So after before leveling, I had 46 hit points. After leveling, I have 56 hit points with extra attack. Huge, absolutely huge. And I don't know if it's taken into account because some of these had to be created manually, but my strength is +4. My new proficiency is 3. Yeah, it did take into account. So my attacks on my weapons are +7. That's absolutely
huge.
Massive.
Yeah,
it's huge.
Right. I just briefly, because I recently changed my long rest rules a little bit because it can be a little awkward with hit points sometimes. So the new way the long rest rules work are at the end of a long rest, you regain half your hit dice, rounded down, and then, this is the new part, you can spend those hit dice. You can spend as many as you like.
Wait, say it again? Say the whole thing again?
So at the end of a long rest, you will regain half your hit dice, rounded down, and then you may spend them. You may spend as many as you'd like.
Now, did any of those, when you dedicate to a long rest, are you getting short rest during it?
That's how it used to work. It was really awkward, so no, you're not. That doesn't work anymore. If you get interrupted in the middle of a long rest, you get a short rest.
How long is a long rest?
5 days.
Well, this is kind of awkward for me because I actually think I would heal more from just doing 5 short rests.
But you wouldn't level up.
But I need to level up.
Yeah.
Okay. That's important.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so you do definitely benefit more from a short rest. You're a short rest class. That makes sense.
Okay. So I'll get 2 hit dice, and I'll spend them. That seems good. I'll spend them immediately.
You'd have. Okay, so wait, because you leveled up is a little awkward. You had 4 hit dice before you leveled up, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to say you gained the 2 back, and then because you leveled up, you gained a 3rd. Okay. One. Yeah, so you'll have 3.
Cool. Yep. Okay, cool. And yes, okay. I will spend those now. This is already starting great. Okay. Rolling again. What the fuck?
Does Istria have enough XP to level up?
Yes, Istria does. Okay, I was going to say, if it rolled 13 again, I was going to be thinking something weird was happening.
Trust me, I would never rig things in your favor.
Oh no, I was worried that I was somehow figured out a cheat code or something. It's 13.
Okay, excellent. Istria's level up is very easy. When you get chance, can you roll me 1d8 plus 29?
That's such a high addition.
Yeah, because whatever the result is going to be her new max HP. We're adding her current max HP and her con.
Oh!
6. Nice.
Huge.
And she's also, I don't know if you, I think you track her hit dice somewhere. She's got 5 now instead of 4.
I got 5, yeah.
And then she also gets her proficiency bonus increased by 1. Which...
That's massive.
I will need to manually update, so she now has Sleight of Hand plus 6, Stealth plus 6, Perception plus 5, Investigation plus 2, Deception plus 7. Her dagger attack is a plus 6 to hit. Her hand crossbow attack is a plus 6 to hit. And her Durgadin rapier is a plus 6 to hit. Cool, that all looks good. The Thieves' Tools proficiency should automatically factor in her new proficiency bonus, which it looks like it does. Cool.
Plus 3, plus 3, plus 3.
And then, should we leave the camp followers level ups till we get to safety? Or would you like to do them now?
Is there a benefit to waiting?
We would say we would be able to do other things in this session.
Oh, okay. We can wait. We can wait until we get back to Mirabar.
Cool. You could even, I would be willing to let you just do them between sessions and say they leveled up now. That would be fun.
Yeah. No, that's totally chill.
Istria also gains back half her hit dice, so if you'd like to roll any of them, feel free to.
Oh, Istria. Okay. And so that actually is... Well, actually, she... I think she's doing okay. Oh yeah, no, she'll want to roll. She's taking some hits.
Nice. At the end of the long rest also, Billy has been helping out in the kitchen and making some good old food. And you can choose one character to gain inspiration. I guess, actually, because every character's inspiration is keyed off of yours. I guess it's you. So you get inspiration from Billy's trait.
Oh, because it's from a long rest.
Long rest, yeah.
Massive. Okay, wow. Okay, so there's another benefit to doing long rest. We can refill our inspiration. That's huge. Okay, so Admand is powered up.
Oh, you also drop 1 level of exhaustion on a long rest, which is
good. What's going on with Istria? Yeah,
yes.
Istria is diseased. What's happening?
She is. Let me go and find... Let me put the suspense music on before I go find out what's happening with Istria. Let's go with the Phoenix Wright one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, hit me with the Fiend. The Phoenix.
He's fiending.
He's fiending for a detective mystery.
Okay. Kundrakar...
I think anyone else, if they just randomly started playing in this game, would find your choice of music to be so random. But I'm so used to it that I just associate it with fantasy. Is that weird? It's like Phoenix Wright and these different songs. Yeah. It just connects for me.
I think some genres I go a little out there, but I do try and keep it fairly cohesive. But I agree with you that it is kind of all over the place. But the thing is with this playlist now is that I've played so long in this world that I sort of consider it my world playlist.
Well, I will say that the sort of like the more pixel what's the word 8-bit kind of music that you sometimes use, it is effective in that it doesn't get as repetitive.
Yeah,
which is weird because you'd think it would get more repetitive, but because it's simpler. It doesn't. I don't notice if it's been playing for a while. You know what I mean? Like, whereas if you played the same, I don't know, 3-minute song from a modern video game over and over again, I might notice more quickly, if that makes sense.
I do pay attention. I'll try to listen to songs for a while and see, like, is this a long-term play or is this more like a mood setter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's the Snake Ooze. It's not what we're looking for.
Snakes?
The Snake Ooze is dead, luckily. You managed to defeat the Snake Ooze.
Oh, Snake Ooze.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get Istria...
Oh, shit!
Mm-hmm. What's up?
I forgot to put on the map where the disease room is. I missed it. I didn't...
Uh-oh.
Oh, I forgot about that. Because I don't think we got diseased in those storage rooms. I think there was a whole nother place that I don't have mapped out. Fuck!
I guess they're gonna get diseased when they come
whoever,
out.
whoever I sold this map to is gonna get diseased.
Let's have Istria make a Constitution saving throw.
Con save. Okay, Istria. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, this is just a con then. Here we go. Hey, that's pretty good.
Okay, when you arrive at the farm, she's a little peaky, she's got a fever, she's not feeling particularly great, but within a couple days, it passes. She's fine.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Was that just a situation where, like, she just needed to get back to 0 levels of exhaustion and then the disease goes away? Is it kind of like a seesaw?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. That would be... That's actually a really scary disease then.
Yeah.
If it gets higher.
Yeah.
Because you just die?
Yep.
That's terrifying.
I mean, there's a lot of diseases that we get all the time that, if not properly treated, not properly immunized, would have killed us one day in the past.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But, man, it's rough. That's all I'm saying.
That's true. Yeah.
Smallpox is tough.
I don't play... Look, I don't run a game for babies.
I don't run a game for babies. I don't run a game for little babies who are vaccinated.
Whoa. Hold on. Let's not go that far.
We build up our herd immunity the old-fashioned way by getting infected in dungeons and then going to a farm and spreading it to them. Oh, God. I hope it's not contagious. I hope that it's just like something that... Yeah, well, I hope it's not contagious. That's all I can say. Do we notice the farmers getting sick?
They seem normal.
Okay, thank God. That'd be so sad if we wiped out this whole family.
For the mom. She's no! No, I'm kidding.
Oh, man, that would be so tragic. Okay.
All right. You said if I remember correctly, you wanted to go back to Blassingdale to present the heads of your foes to the mayor. Am I remembering that correctly?
That's such a crazy idea. Sure, yeah. I don't know why I thought that.
It was your idea. If you want to change your mind, you change your mind. I'm just trying to remember.
Kind of a cool idea. It is a cool fucking idea, though. It's a cool fucking idea. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it.
Okay. It is not.
We kind of have to head back there anyway, so that we know where we're going from there. Mm-hmm. I feel like, sort of geographically, it's easier to get back to Lurk Watch if we have that kind of as our compass point.
Absolutely. Okay. In theory, it is a day's travel. Let's see what the world has in store for you today. Could you give me a number between 1 and 4?
Like, just pick one or roll it?
Up to you. Pick one by whatever means you choose.
I'm gonna roll it. If I pick one manually and it's bad, I'll be more mad at myself than if I rolled a bad one.
Yep.
4.
Ooh, okay.
Fuck!
Not be bad.
4 demons.
Remind me again, marching order. How do you travel? What have you got with you? What's the light situation?
So Admand is at the front.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I need to subtract some oil. Admand's at the front. Faldor is because he has his horse, and then he has Faldor is riding Bojack.
Yeah.
And has Larry and Norris trailing behind. I think Billy is probably helping. I imagine Billy might help Faldor with the donkeys. He probably doesn't need help, but Billy probably just like stands with the donkeys and helps lead them. And so he's like at the midway point of the train.
I think Faldor maybe towards the start of the journey would have like brushed off Billy and been a little abrasive to him. But I think at this point, Billy's very visibly a little shaken up by this whole experience, and Faldor is letting Billy help him. Or help him, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and also maybe it helps that Billy's become more competent. He's a man now.
Yeah. A little bit. You can definitely tell he's a little bit shaken, though.
Nah, he's fine. He just...
Character building.
Yeah, it's shell shocked. He just needs to bottle that all up and never talk about it again. That
Yeah.
will cure it.
Yeah.
So Billy Billy's with the donkeys, and or no, mules. I think they're mules. And then I would have Istria at the back, of our little
shining
caravan.
the light on everyone.
No, that seems no. Well, she has because we have 2 lanterns.
You do?
Yes, Istria has we have a round lantern that goes in all directions, and we have
a bullseye.
A bullseye. So in this case, Admand has the bullseye at the front.
Okay.
Istria has the round at the back.
Great. Cool. Sounds good. As you are traveling towards Blassingdale, you said your goodbyes to the farm people, and you are heading back away from the farm people towards Blassingdale. Istria kind of makes a noise from the back to try and get your attention.
Yeah, I head back there.
Do you stop the whole caravan, or are you just trying?
I stop the caravan and I hand. No, I wouldn't hand it.
You go to hand Dorian the lantern, and then stop on your paws.
I was gonna hand Billy the lantern, but then I'm like, do I want Billy to have the lantern? I'll hand Billy the lantern, and then I head to Istria. What's the issue?
She tells you to shush and to listen. You can hear, so it's a relatively mild day in the Lurkwood. As you've now gone into the forest, so you're traveling through the Lurkwood. But you can actually roll me a perception check to see if you can hear what Istria is trying to get you to hear, because there is a lot of undergrowth and rustling. There's still a light breeze, creatures in the forest, but yeah, in the distance you can just hear the pitter-pattering of hooves quietly getting closer.
What direction do they seem to be coming from?
Sort of the north.
Is there any way to know how many hooves? How many riders?
Within 19, I can tell you it's not an army, but it's hard to really zero in on what it is. It's not a large group, but it could be 1, it could be 2, maybe up to 5. Be hard to tell.
I tell Istria to extinguish our lanterns, and I tell Billy to extinguish his. But I tell Billy to get ready to relight his lantern very quickly if we need him to. I set him up with the lighter and everything, and then but Admand can see in the dark. He goes towards where he appears to hear the hoof noises coming from, and he brings Istria with him to that place, and he stares out in the darkness.
Okay. Yeah, you walk for a little bit away from the caravan. Right. How far do you want to get?
Not super far.
Yeah.
Maybe 20 feet ahead. We don't want to leave the caravan exposed in case this is some sort of trick.
Cool. So you move about 20 feet. You can kind of see a small, very, very small body of water to your left. And I wouldn't call it a clearing, but a little patch of the forest that doesn't have quite as many trees as the one behind you. There is a whoosh, a violent wind that whooshes down low in the forest. Kind of circles around your ankles. You can still hear the hooves getting closer.
It's a violent breeze?
Yeah, it's like violent wind.
Creepy.
Maybe it's just a wind coming down off of the mountains. You're nearby to the mountains. Maybe just caught as the wind gets trapped in the valley.
I think if I have a trap I can set. Fucking put. This is just a friendly person on a horse. We set fucking wooden stakes out.
You've learned from Saint Macaulay of Colgan, I see. Great monk of the Northern Abbey.
If the other dwarves can do it, I can. And setting horrific Geneva Convention violating traps.
Put a really heavy iron up on a tree and you bend it back.
I think that just trying to look to see if there's anything that I could set a trap with, but I don't really have any trap-like things. How much time do I think I have before the horse gets here? This riders possibly they get here.
Roll me a raw intelligence check, and I'm also adding in your perception check into this.
I'm gonna raw dog that int. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, that's so bad. Is mayonnaise an instrument?
It's not certain that it's actually coming towards you. It's definitely getting closer, but it might not necessarily be directly in your direction. It might be just passing through. It might just miss you. Okay, it's really hard to tell how far away it is.
I think Admand is going to help. If we have like a minute, Admand is going to go back with Istria, and he is going to help everyone, including Faldor. I don't think Faldor can see in the dark. He's going to help the rest of them sidestep.
Off of the path.
The whole party off of the path about 20 to 30 feet. And he's going to help them avoid, like, if there's like a pond or so, like a fucking thing they could break a leg at, he's going to be very careful not to have them do that. And the hope is that if they saw our lanterns, now that the lanterns are extinguished, they might just go right past us thinking that we ran away. And so that's what Admand's going to do. And then Admand is going to stay at the edge of the path, looking. Is there like bushes I could hide in, or like?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, he's going to sit in some bushes with Istria. Okay. Istria, come and bush sit with me.
Both of you roll stealth checks.
Okay. Fuck, Istria's way better at this. By the way, I have an argument that I don't think you'll accept.
Okay.
But I'll make it nonetheless.
All right.
I think that most of the stealth ruining nature of armor is from movement. And I think that maybe you shouldn't have disadvantage when you're just standing still and hiding in shadows. That's just, it's crazy.
I like to, accept the argument. I think it's completely reasonable. My counter argument will be that heavy armor is cumbersome. It's large. It will make it more awkward for you to stay nice and still, to get low enough to be able to really hide in that bush.
It grounds me.
Any movement will be like, ching, ching, ching. You got to be exactly still. You'll be in a lot of pain. There's a lot of rubbing. A lot of rubbing going on. A lot of metal on skin. It's not comfortable. And also, you got to keep in mind, any source of light that may appear shines that shit up.
I trained with the Bene Gesserit sisters. I can undergo any amount of discomfort. All right, I just rolled. I got a fucking 0.
Your argument would have gotten you a 1.
Argument would have gotten me a 1. Well, no, it wouldn't have.
No, that's true. It would have gotten you a 0. All right. Well, after a few minutes,
if I somehow convinced you that actually, while standing still, heavy armor enhances one's stealth, it would have gotten me a 1.
Yeah, that was the grounding argument you were going for.
The grounding argument.
Yeah. Keeps you grounded. About a minute later. Not about a minute. A few minutes later. A few minutes pass as the rush of wind that comes from now and again, clearly consistent in its appearance, eventually emerging from the underbrush and the trees, just into your line of vision.
Sorry, and I didn't explicitly state this, but we're strapped right now. Like Admand's ready to go.
You got the shield equipped.
Weapon.
Yeah. Cool. Sounds good.
All right.
Emerging into your line of vision, you see a horse, dark horse, and sat atop it, you can make out a hooded figure. Now, even with your dark vision, you can't quite make out their features, but they're humanoid. They're wearing armor, really nice kind of ceremonial looking armor, with some long sort of silks and cloths, a nice riding saddle. They have some sort of blade at their hip attached to their belt. And then as they appear in the clearing, they're completely unlit. They're completely dark. You can't make out their features.
And then Admand farts and falls out of the bush.
But then 2 kind of glowing patches of light appear under the hood where their eyes would be. 2 green glowing, like staring orbs, and they look directly at you.
Admand says, "Hello." And he stands up.
The figure responds, "You have come into my land. You have interfered with my subjects and made off with things that do not belong to you. I demand justice."
You must be the Baron? Were we told he's the Baron? Right? I say, you must be the Baron I've heard of. Is that correct? Is that who I'm speaking with?
Creature kind of motions their hooded head in the affirmative.
What are you?
I am, as you say, the Baron of this land.
Not a man, though.
No.
Nor elf, nor dwarf, nor halfling! What the fuck are you?
My people are of the ancient Fae.
I see. Huh.
I am what you call an elf.
Oh. What do I... Did you say I see fire coming out of his eyes or something?
Like it's like the glowing green orbs. You can't really make out their features. You can just see these glowing, what probably are eyes.
I say, are you suggesting that the orcs in Kundrakar, they're what? Your followers?
They were my subjects, as all who make their lives on this land are.
Your subjects are attacking each other. Did you know that?
I was aware. It is not for an outsider to dispense justice on my behalf.
And you were going to?
It is not for an outsider to question my methods.
Well, yeah, don't be at me to question your methods. But at the same time... Keep was fair game, man. No, I say, you said you want satisfaction from me, or no? That's what someone in a Edwardian novel would say. What did you say?
The Baron reaches for their hip and pulls out a jagged, dark blade, which also has this glow that begins to circle around it, points it at you, and says, "I demand justice for your transgressions."
Let's see. Are you challenging me to a duel, or asking for a tax?
A tax? No. Tax is what I levy upon those who live upon this land. What I am asking for, I suppose you could call it
toll.
A penalty.
Is this penalty more like a duel or more like a toll?
If it comes to it, I will extract my price in blood, but I would prefer it not to come to that.
All right. Well, I can negotiate. What do you want?
I could have you return all that you have taken, but that would not make me whole. That would not bring back the lives of those you slain. So instead I wish something else. I do not wish you to make my realm whole again. I wish...
Firstborn son.
I wish for you to make my realm stronger. There is an item that is outside of my reach. I wish for you to get it for me. Then I will let you leave.
What is it?
It is an
Please
old
don't tell me it's
family
something in
heirloom.
Is it something in that fucked up honey cave? I'm not going back there. You can't make me.
An old family heirloom. I wish for you to acquire for me the heart of Sulthraxis.
Okay. You want someone's heart?
Something. A long dead creature of which I used to be acquainted.
That's metal. That's fucking cool.
The heart can be found far to the north of here. In the swamplands. It should take you less than a day to get there. Once you have acquired it, I wish you to bring it back to the base of the Stone Talon. The Stone Tooth. The lake there. I will know when you have completed your task. At this point, as you maybe hesitate, the Baron will put the sword away.
Yeah, well, so it's more like martial writing.
Yeah, sure.
but yeah, maybe Admand is kind of scratching his beard a little bit and thinking. So
he doesn't need much opportunity to put the blade away. If there's a brief hesitation, they'll do it.
Sulthraxis, you said.
Sulthraxis, yeah.
What kind of creature was Sulthraxis?
I do not think this is information that will assist you.
All right. Why aren't you getting the heart? I mean, I understand you want me to do it. I more mean, why haven't you gotten it before now? What's the catch?
It is certainly within my capabilities to acquire it, but the area in which it is located poses more of a risk to me than it does for you.
So he's weak to swamp damage.
It's a good thing I got my swamp ass spell prepared today.
I'm gonna swamp you, bro.
Get swamped, bro.
Get swamped. I have a bucket of swamp water on me at all times for things like that.
I've just got a bucket of swamp.
Pour the bucket of swamp, and it's like the Witch of the West dying in the Wizard of Oz. It just starts melting.
You didn't bring your swamp in a box?
We are to find the heart of Sulthraxis. It's a day's travel north of the swamps. Swamp. All right. What can we expect to find there? What's so dangerous about it? To you or to us? What's guarding it?
The swamp is corrupted by ancient magics. You'll find the plants themselves to be hostile. Anything that lives, I doubt, will be receptive to your presence.
Okay.
In particular, the heart is in the possession of a group of men. They are not going to be keen to relinquish it. But I think they are within your capabilities, considering how you dispatched my subjects.
What kind of men? Why are they interested in the heart?
And this is Putty, not the Baron, pausing.
Men as in humans.
Yeah. Okay. He says, These men revered the creature in... The Baron pauses. In its prime, and seek to cling on to what is left of it. In truth, I would guess there is not much left in these men of desire and will.
Okay, so it's kind of like a cult type thing. All right. Okay, so you want us to go to the swamps, and I guess how will we know we're in the right part of the swamp? Any the landmarks we should look for?
If you head north, you will find the swamp. You will know when you are there. But in terms of finding the heart, all I can tell you is that it will be in the ruins of a temple. You won't find much in terms of buildings and structures. So if you find one, it is likely the heart is there.
Okay, and how do we know the heart when we see it? Does it look like a literal bloody heart, or is this a metaphor?
You'll know, they say.
Is it actually was Solthraxis like a Chevy, and this is an engine we're looking for?
It was a Toyota.
My great adversary. Toyota!
You see the Baron's cloak like flap, and you see the General Motors pin.
Okay, we find the heart of Solthraxis. We'll know it when we see it. That sounds great. I'd be so pissed if I were in, like, I always assume other people are fine with that kind of advice. Marshall, if I was in a fantasy world and I was told you'll know it when you see it, I'd be like, you underestimate my ability to miss something. You need to tell me specifically what this fucking thing looks like, or I will almost certainly walk past it. Okay. Yes. Okay. So we are to find the heart of Solthraxis. We'll know when we see it. It's a day's travel north of the swamps. Plants are there, hostile. Everything's fucked. The heart is in the possession of a group of humans who revered Solthraxis. They cling on to what's left of it. Praise them? Praise the creature?
Praise be.
Praise? Have you heard it? Yes, so I think that that's a good deal of information. And then come back and bring the heart to the lake.
At the base of the stone tooth.
Okay. I mean, that seems fair. If I do this, we're square.
Their shadowed features nod in an affirmative gesture.
Can I mean, it's hard to read shadowy features nodding, but could I roll insight?
Insight?
Or could I? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you roll at disadvantage for the reasons that I hope are fairly obvious. Okay. There is an aura that protrudes from this being. An aura of power, of confidence, but also of honor. They mentioned justice, and there was a sort of righteousness in their voice. There is a sense that, whether you agree or not, they feel wronged. And they're here almost out of duty than out of, any particular other reason. Although there's definitely, actually with the 14, there's also, there's definitely some other aspect going on here, but you doubt that you are being sort of screwed. You suspect they mean what they say when they say that you'll be square.
The only thing I would be worried about, is that the heart actually powers this guy up, and then we bring it to him and he kills us. So in that case, I think Admand puts away his weapon, finally, and extends his hand to seal the deal. I've never shaken a hand before.
The Baron pauses and then slowly gets off of the horse, walks towards you. And as they get closer, you can start to see the sort of features of a sort of handsome elven individual.
I shake his hand. If he puts it out.
Yep, they do. They accept the handshake.
And I say, all right, you've got a deal. We will meet you at the lake, I suppose. Will you be there when we get there, or do we set up camp when we arrive?
I will know when your task is completed. They turn around.
It didn't completely answer my question, but okay. Just assume you'll be there then. And
they get on the horse. They ride away.
All right, goodbye. That guy's fucked.
Wind begins to calm down. Istria looks at you with a confused look. What was that?
That was the Baron. Wait, did you not hear our conversation? You're like 5 feet behind me.
I'm still a little shell-shocked by it, if I'm going to be honest with you. So what? Like we're fetching something for them, and then
I think that's the rub. Yeah. Now, I mean, that does suck in one sense, because I know that we didn't want to do that, but
are you tapping on something? It's kind of coming across on the mic.
I think I was tapping my leg. Sorry about that.
It's all right. It's okay.
Here's the thing. I would like to go home, but I have a suspicion that if we fought him, we would be murdered.
That was the impression I got as well.
He seemed tough, and plus we don't have Dorian with us.
Istria pauses as if she was kind of holding this back, as if she doesn't necessarily know if this is the right time to say this, but eventually she just says it. I'm not so sure that was a him.
I suppose you're probably right. Well, I think they would have destroyed us if we fought. And
I got that impression as well.
I think without Kratz and without Dorian, there is little we can, or rather, it's not that we can't do anything. It's just that I don't trust our strength to fight someone like that right now. So I think it's best that we go to the swamp and figure out what he's weak to there. Is it swamp water? Is it is it praise?
True. I hate all these happiness. these people with a cause.
Now we find out what they're weak to if we can, but for the most part I think if we can just do the quest and get it done.
You think they'll let us leave?
That was the impression I got. I got a good vibe. Well, I got a pretty ominous vibe, but it was a good one.
This is pretty fucked. I think we should tell people about this if we get back to Mirabar.
Yeah, this is a weird situation out here. I don't know what the Mirabarians want to do about it, but
people disappearing, that thing.
I mean, they looked like an elf to me, or some sort of elf creature. So
it looked like an elf to me too, but there was something wrong.
Could be a form. I've read stories that the elves are a popular form to take for evil creatures that can shapeshift because they're so beautiful. Because they're so damn fuckable. That got weird. Anyway, the point is, The point is, it could be. It could be. We don't know a lot, but I think we're best off in our current situation, without more information, complying. However, I don't think there's any reason to involve you two in this. I turn to Billy and Faldor. I think that since it's unlikely we're finding some massive tomb to raid.
You're tapping again.
Oh, fuck! Well, now I think about it, maybe we should just bring the whole crew. No, we'll just bring the whole crew. Never mind. I changed my mind. We're bringing the whole crew.
I'm not sure the animals will hold up well in swamp water, boss.
And shoot them for disobedience.
All right.
You're right. No! Not the animals. No, you're totally right about that. That's an issue. You know what? I think we'll have Faldor. Fuck, this is tough. Yeah, the animals, the swamp water. I don't really want to leave anyone at the town. This is my only worry, because the town is... I can't fully trust everyone there. And if we leave someone alone with all of the loot...
Why are you so untrustworthy of the members of Blasingdale? They were all delightful to you. They were all really nice.
Oh, they make people go missing.
You had that Paprika's cook shop and the lovely halfling who ran a meadery. It was good meat. There was even some dwarven ale there. It was kind of shit, but...
It was terrible.
Yeah?
I hated it. Okay, we are... I think here's the plan. Here is the plan. I'm going to have Faldor actually take the... Because I'm guessing... looking at a map... Actually, yeah. Let me go to the map. The map's here. So, the farmhouse was here. We are right now somewhere on this path to Blasingdale, I'm guessing. I don't see the swamps on this map. Yeah. So do we have to like head past this gap here? Is that the idea?
No, I think the implication was that it would be somewhere up here.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's not too bad. Well, in that case, that's even more of a reason. I'm gonna have Faldor lead the horses and supplies back to the farmhouse.
Okay.
And tell him to camp there. And I'm gonna bring, because I kind of need Billy. He carries a lot of my supplies, so I'm not encumbered. So I'm going to bring Billy and Istria into the swamp.
Great. All right. So there'll definitely be one short rest in here. Don't have to worry too much about the logistics of it, as long as I don't roll an encounter. Which I don't, so you can get a short rest, and you can get one hit dice back and spend them if you'd like. And you can do Billy's stuff, which I think is two temporary hit points to you and Istria, I think.
Or I could give it to Billy.
Or you can give it to Billy.
I won't. Let me roll real quick for that. Oof.
Oh, that's your hit dice.
Okay. That's my hit die, but also Billy.
Yep.
Gives me a D8, I believe.
It's definitely something. D8 sounds right.
I can double check.
Yeah.
It is a D8.
Great.
Terrible.
Better than the hit dice.
And better than nothing.
Yeah.
So we've got that. Admand's still at 0. Istria is slowly refilling her pool, which is good. Okay. Yeah, I think that is the plan then.
All right. After a few hours of travel on the next day, you see kind of the shadow of a mountain range above you. You're clearly quite close to the foothills of a mountain range when you start to feel as the ground begins to shift from hard and firm to wet and unstable. You get that smell of kind of acrid swamp water.
Maybe the Baron is weak to instability.
I mean, yeah, to chaos.
Any dictator needs stability and strength, and that's what is...
Yeah, strong and stable. the motto of my political hero, Theresa May.
Yeah. What Theresa May was referring to is like draining the swamps. So we have a strong and stable government that sits on dry land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truly.
I get it.
But what's most notable about the change in biome here is that there is what first of all appears to be like a really thick fog, but as you start to like travel through it, you feel it kind of getting very uncomfortable in your throat and in your lungs. Like it's almost very choky when you breathe the fog in. There's almost like a sulfury taste to it.
Do I need to make a concept?
No.
Against disease. Oh, okay.
It's just uncomfortable.
Sulfur. Interesting. Okay, Billy. How does that feel? Does that fog suck?
Yeah.
All right. Good lad. We keep going. I push on.
All right. Is there anything you'd like to tell me about the way you're traveling through this swamp that I don't already know?
I think we try to. I think we're probably traveling pretty slowly once we reach the actual swamp. I don't think we're rushing through. So I would have had to leave a lantern with Faldor. Probably left the non-bullseye with Faldor. So I think Istria has the lantern with the bullseye and is using it to help guide us through the swamp, especially Billy. And I think we are being very slow and not slower than we need to, but basically trying whenever to walk on, because swamps will sometimes have patches of firmer ground in between the wet. Whenever we can, we're going to take that. And whenever we have to walk into actual swampy ground, I might use various sticks and other things to try to make sure we're walking through shallower so that none of us are accidentally... Like, I mean, after all, Admand's a dwarf. He's not super tall, and he's wearing armor. So if he steps into the wrong pool, he can start fucking drowning.
Yeah.
So I think he's trying to be very careful to never step into a deep sinkhole or something like that.
Okay.
Probably using the 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
Because we have that.
I'm just going to set up the bullseye lantern on Istria if we ever need it. I'm sure we won't, but just in case. Cool. You are indeed walking through the swamp very slowly, checking for, as you say, make sure you don't fall into deep water, which could be a real problem for you. When you kind of emerge from a set of trees, you see a big patch of swamp water ahead of you. But then it's not what you see that catches your attention, it's what you hear. As from your left, you hear this loud hissing sound. And you can see that it's coming from this, like, spore-like, vaguely humanoid creature with these angry eyes looking at you. And I think we should immediately roll initiative.
Let's negotiate. Can we not negotiate? The fuck is this thing? It looks like Invader Zim.
Maybe it is. Did you consider?
This is off topic, but you bring up Theresa May quotes. Made me think of my favorite quote from Theresa May, which, if I recall, is something. I might be paraphrasing here, but something like she was asked, "What kind of Brexit is this going to be?"
Oh,
and she said, "It's going to be a red,
white and blue
Brexit."
Yeah.
That's what she said. That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite quotes from her because it's the most American I've ever heard a British person be in my entire life.
What's funny is that when you brought up your favorite Theresa May quote, I had another one, which I think goes to show that she was surprisingly quotable.
Very quotable.
Yeah. The one I thought you were going to say was during her election campaign, they asked her, because she was seen as like not a very like relatable person. It's like, oh, what did you get up to as a kid? What did you do for fun? And her response was, "Oh, the naughtiest thing I've..." Oh, no, that was it. The question was, "What's the naughtiest thing you've ever done?" And her response was, "Well, we used to get up to all sorts. I used to run through the fields of wheat as a kid."
That's so funny.
Okay.
Although, what a weird... I will say, in her defense, what a hard question to answer as a politician. What do you say to that? Oh, yeah, well, we were gangbangers and we dealt drugs. Like, what? Okay, no, you don't say that.
Well, wasn't there an Obama interview after he was president where he admitted to smoking weed?
I think he might have even done it. Yes, it might have been while he was president that he said that. I don't think it was when he was running. But yeah, like that, I think we're at the point where, yeah, you could say that. You could say, "Oh, I had a joint once." Maybe you could say that. I don't know. But it's a trap question. Yeah. It's like, you either sound lame or you piss off a bunch of people. Yeah. Like, there's no... I ran through fields of wheat.
All right, it's Billy's turn.
I had a gambling addiction. Like, what do you say? Anyway,
no, I agree. It is tough. I do understand where you're coming from.
But at the same time, she's very quotable.
Yeah.
She could have just said, "No, we had a quite quiet life." Like,
I often go back to her resignation speech because it's quite powerful, to be fair to her. But there is something oddly compelling about seeing the end of that premiership, because she basically has a breakdown. And I don't know. I always watch it, and there's just something like era defining about her run. And as bad as she was, we found out for the next two that it could always be worse.
Always get worse. Yeah, no, that is true. And that's what I tell everyone. I say, it always get worse. Yeah. If you think it can't, then you haven't been paying attention. So, all right, Billy starts. Fuck, I don't know what I want Billy to do. Run, Billy. So Billy can dash, disengage, or hide as a bonus action.
That's useful.
Billy can help as a bonus action. I think Billy is going to move here in the hopes that he is less of a target. And he is going to...
dodge, maybe?
Dodge. I think dodge is good.
If you just put a blue circle on him, that's my dodge icon. Okay, this strange fungus-like humanoid creature. I'm going to actually send you a full art image of this creature.
Of Invader Zim.
There he is.
Shit, that's scarier. What's that thing behind it?
Don't worry, that's not with him on this occasion. Don't worry about that one. That's from a different encounter.
What a goddamn plant dog. Jesus Christ.
You never suspect the plant dogs. All right.
That's not good.
This guy's going to close in with you, and he's going to get his big old claws. He's going to slash at you.
Oi, bro.
He's going to miss. And now it's your turn.
Admand's going to give him a good old schlack, whack.
Whack.
Click, clack, slap, slap. And yeah, he's gonna whack him. I guess it'd be important to know, would I have my shield equipped? I'm guessing not.
I'm gonna say no. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He will pull out his warhammer if it wasn't out, and he will smack.
Cool.
Crack.
Miss.
And he'll smack again.
Oh, that one hits.
7 bludge.
7 bludgeoning damage. And immediately, as holes and little strands tear in the creature's body, you see as the kind of fungus bulbs begin to like bloom, and little spores begin to like ravel around the creature's wounds. But you've clearly done some serious damage to it.
Admand's like, run! It's your only hope. That's Admand's turn.
Creature
What are you,
hisses.
a fucking snake? I thought you were a plant.
This one closes in on Istria with its claws.
Is
Bored.
everything in this world just a snake? Plant snakes? Who's snakes?
Those are 15 hit Istria.
I think unfortunately it does.
Okay. In such case, she will be clawed for 4 points of slashing damage. This creature approaches Admand and Billy, but attacks Admand. 13, I'm going to assume misses. This creature
13 misses, yeah.
runs towards Istria and while using its momentum to slam her with its claws. Missing just,
That
I
misses.
believe. Yeah.
Yes.
Very nice. And now it's Istria's turn.
We're surrounded.
They all hiss. It's a lot less like a snake hiss and more like a feral cat.
I just realized, I think Istria, there's nothing to prevent her from helping herself.
Oh, let me... I think that doesn't work, but let me just read the text to confirm. I think it's something about, like, it says an ally, which you could definitely say is yourself, but...
One creature within 5 feet gains advantage on the next... Oh, wait, to perform a task. She can aid a friendly creature in attacking a creature within 5 feet of her. Never mind, you're right.
Yeah.
She can aid a friendly creature.
I feel like you could definitely, if you want to lawyer it, say a friendly creature and an ally could very much refer to yourself, but I'm not.
Nah.
I'm not down that.
But I think you could, I will say, I think you could argue that the non-combat part, the way it's worded, says one creature within 5 feet gains advantage on the next ability check. It makes that's less specific. That's kind of interesting. But anyway,
Yeah.
Okay. But in any case, I will have Istria perform a help action on this one.
Okay.
And I will have that's as a bonus action. I will then have her with the rapier attack this one.
The one crafted by Durgadin, the black.
Indeed.
Great. Well, maybe it has his mark on it.
14 to hit.
14 hits.
8 piercing.
8 piercing on the creature, and again, as she pulls it back, she sees these little spores begin to bloom around the wound.
I hate you. Okay. That is Istria's turn.
The last creature, hissing, approaches.
Goddamn snakes!
Small click as it gets its claws up and tries to attack Admand. Missing again. Billy!
Bella! Where art thou, Bella? Billy
He's
is
below
going...
you, mate.
Billy, Billy is gonna give is gonna use a bonus action to help Admand, or
Cool.
not. It's gonna be Admand, but it could be anyone.
Yeah.
To on that creature, and is then going to dodge again.
Great. I like it. Alright. This creature, at the start of its turn, you see as some of those virulent spores that were released upon you striking it begin to attach to its body and almost mend some of the wounds. And it heals. Oops, not. That's not healing.
Whoa, what?
It heals for this amount.
Okay. Interesting. Got to really beat the fuck out of this thing. All right, Admand's gonna whack it again.
Well, it's going to attack you first.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no, that's a crit.
For 10 slashing damage as the spores kind of coagulate around the claws and it flurries out at you. Remember to take off your 2 temporary hit points and then 8 regular ones. And then you may whack it if you'd like.
Huge. Okay, for me, my health bar isn't updating, but the number is.
Yeah, that happens in Roll20, unfortunately.
Okay, Admand is gonna whack him, and he's gonna whack him good.
I hope so.
You haven't seen how hard he's gonna whack.
I haven't. I'm looking forward to it, though.
It's gonna get weird.
Yeah! Oh, champion grit, let's go!
Oh, was that a champion grit?
It is. You smash the spores, you smash the vegetation. This creature is dead.
Heal from that! He points at the corpse. He then turns to the one that he's aided on, and he gives it a good old schmackaroo. Schmack schmackaroo!
That hits.
11 blood.
This creature lets out a high-pitched yelp as you slay it.
I suggest the rest of you run for your lives, Admand yells as he points to them wildly with his
They
axe.
turn their heads at you and click.
I don't think they understand English. All right. Really, we're just killing children. Evil plant children. Admand's turn is over.
Okay.
Admand, if Admand was a politician, he'd be very quotable.
I see. This creature is going to attack Istria. Wait, actually, two creatures have just died. I'm going to roll a morale check. This creature is going to disengage and get the fuck out of here.
Run for your life!
This creature's some of its spores are going to repair the rapier wound that Istria left, and then it's going to make a morale check. But the guy next to him just broke, so I'm going to put disadvantage on it. Ooh, he's a strong-willed creature though, and he's going to attack Istria. Whoa, but it's not going well.
Mistake.
Will it be punished?
Istria's gonna attack.
Hits.
7.
Perfect damage to slay this creature.
Istria is then going to position here and use bonus action help on the last creature.
Who action disengages and runs the fuck away. Do you pursue, or shall we get out of initiative?
I do not pursue. They're just dumb plant people.
Yeah.
Hopefully they won't lead a horde of those plant dogs upon me later.
Okay. Do you have a look around to see if there's any more of these creatures about?
Tell the other plant people that we're unkillable. Yeah, I'll give a quick look, and also to see if they. I'll kind of give a search around the area that they came out of to see if there's any like loot, hidey holes, things they
seem to have just been hiding amongst the trees and plants and stuff. It's not like these are their homes. They were laying in wait. You can also feel free to move yourselves around and move the lantern to see if there's anything else on this map of interest to you.
I can see you.
Oh.
We turned the lens.
They keep running.
You're right there.
No, we're not.
Oh, this is an interesting map. Dinosaurs? Or is that a cow? I can't tell.
Who's to say?
Who's to say? Yeah, we'll give a quick. I don't know if you want me to make a perception check, but yeah, Admand would double check to see if there's any others of these.
Sure. Yeah, so if you turn your lantern back in the direction it was on earlier, this direction.
Hello?
Then one thing Admand notices, floating in the swamp water there.
Oh, shit, whoa!
Yeah. Is
Oh my god, it's Dorian!
decayed remains of a corpse.
Admand will check it out.
All right, how do you check it out?
First, he gets out his 10-foot pole.
Okay.
And he pokes it.
It seems like a dead corpse, although one of the arms will fall off. It's mostly skeletal at this point.
Oh God!
Yeah.
God. Okay, he's gonna. Is this book? Do I see a book here?
You do see a book there, and as you pick it up, you see that it's in pretty rough shape. It's very decayed, lots of swamp, kind of moss and water all over it. However, it's made of quite stern stuff, and so some of it has survived.
I will look for. Oh,
I've given you a handout that you can have a look through. Maybe read for the audience, but that's sort of up to you.
Okay. Journal of Elshar Veloth, devoted of Solthraxus. Now I have the actual spelling. Here I spelled.
Yeah, go on.
I spelled it soul, like the word, like a S-O-U-L.
Oh, S-O-U-L, yep.
And then Thraxus was with a U at the end instead of an I. But I got close.
That's pretty close, yeah.
Entry 1. It has been days since the relic was delivered to our temple, the heart of Solthraxus, preserved through ancient rites. We were chosen to safeguard it, a great honor bestowed upon us by the higher circle. Our high priest, Orvan, claimed that the heart still beats with the essence of our great lord's power. I stood in awe as they unveiled it. A blackened, twisted thing, pulsing faintly with a rhythm like a distant drumbeat. It filled the chamber with a strange warmth, yet the air around it felt heavy. Is that similar to the description you gave of the air of this swamp now?
It's a little different. The fog as you breathe it in, it has this like sulfury taste, and it sort of makes you choke up. Although you've been in it long enough now that you have sort of got acclimatized to it. It's not so pervasive that it's not that it's debilitating.
Our task is clear. Protect the heart and let it fuel the resurgence of our dominion. Orvan speaks of a rebirth, that from the remnants of Solthraxus' power we shall rise stronger. The temple is to be our fortress, our sanctuary in these times of war. But whispers from the south trouble me. There are rumors of defeat, of our forces scattering like leaves in a storm. I dare not speak of it openly. For now we have the heart, and with it, hope. 2. Weeks have passed, and the sorrow has grown heavier upon us. The war to the south goes poorly. Messengers no longer come with tidings of victory. They do not come at all. The high priest tells us to hold fast, that the power of Solthraxus will sustain us. But there is doubt in his eyes, though he hides it well. The heart's presence has begun to change the temple. The stone walls we once revered now seem darker. The carvings twisted into grotesque shapes. Some of the acolytes speak of dreams, visions of decay, of endless mire and choking fog. Orvan forbids discussion of such matters, yet I have seen him staring at the heart for hours, unmoving, lost in thought. I no longer feel warmth from the relic. Its beat is slower now, more deliberate. There is a weight to it that presses on my mind, a heaviness in my limbs. I wonder if it feeds on us, drawing strength from our despair. I try to shake these thoughts, but they cling to me like the mists that now creep through the temple halls. Entry 3. I can no longer deny it. The heart is killing us. Acolytes are falling ill, their skin turning ashen, their eyes sunken and hollow. They speak in whispers, as if afraid to wake something lurking in the shadows. I hear strange noises in the night, a distant heartbeat echoing through the stone. Footsteps that stop when I turn to look, whispers in a language I cannot understand. Orvan is gone. No one knows where he went, though some claim they saw him standing before the heart, his hands outstretched, his lips moving in silent prayer or plea. We are left without guidance, without hope. The heart has taken our high priest, and soon, I fear, it will take us all. I have made my decision. I will leave this place tonight. I dare not take the main road. The mists are too thick, and I feel eyes watching me from the darkness. There's a path through the marshes, treacherous but hidden. I'll take it and pray that I find refuge before the heart's corruption claims me. If these words are found, know this. The heart of Solthraxis must never be disturbed. Its power is not salvation, it is decay. A poison that seeps into the land and mind alike. Leave it buried, forgotten in the mire. Let it fade into myth. And if you hear the heartbeat, run. Fuck. That does not sound good. I do not. This quest has just become a really between a rock and a hard place. Either we fight some demon lord, or we become completely fucked up by this heart thing. I mean, is there any sense from the entries? There's no dating. We don't know how long there was between each entry. Because what if it was like weeks and months? I mean, we grab the heart, takes a day, we get back, no infection, no corruption, we're good to go. They
quick
smash it.
In and out adventure, yeah.
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 Fuck. Then again, maybe the heart will give me the power I need to defeat the Baron. Maybe I need to praise the heart. Okay. That's spooky.
All right. Do you press on through the swamplands?
Naked, yes.
Naked and alone.
I'm sorry. I would also make sure there's nothing left on that body besides that.
No, they seem to be wearing very decayed black robes, but otherwise, nothing else.
Okay. I would pocket the book. I would maybe try to dry it off so it doesn't get the rest of my shit wet, but wring it out and then pocket it for later. Maybe I can bring it to the Baron and be like, yo, this thing's fucked.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. Cool. You press on through the mists, and it is not long, maybe under an hour, before you do hear a new sound. And it is the slow and distant rhythmic beating of a heart. Doom, 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 doom. And if you take the time to concentrate on it, you can definitely feel which direction it's coming from. Istria and Billy give you a knowing look, indicating that they hear it too.
I turn to Istria and Billy and I'm like, how do you two feel about this? Did they? I guess I didn't keep the entries secret for them, so they would have known about them. I'm like, what do you think? This seems fucked.
Istria nods. Billy is non-responsive.
Billy just needs to bottle it up and never talk about it. Okay?
Istria says, I don't know if we have much choice.
I'm just trying to decide whether I fear the heart more or fear this Baron more.
She nods, unsure as to the answer to that question.
The Baron said that they know everything that happens within their domain. So if we leave their domain, then we're off the scent.
They can't follow us forever.
Exactly, yeah. Or maybe they can.
I don't know, though. Okay. Running in the darkness without either of our navigators, I don't know how far we'd get.
Yeah. Without our main navigator. Just Dorian.
Poor
poor Kratz is screaming at us from the grave, turning in his grave. I say, okay, I've made an executive decision. I think I'm more afraid of the Baron than I am the heart. I think we should just go. We should wrap this thing in a bundle or something and not think about it. Bring it to the lake and hope that the Baron destroys it. Let's get moving. And we start following the beat.
It gets louder. Louder as the mist and the fog gets thicker.
The Baron was right about us knowing it when we get to it. You'll know it because it makes a loud noise.
Eventually you see kind of jetting out into the darkness, and as you get closer and shine the light, you can see sort of a sunken stone structure.
I think at this point, Admand will get out his shield and ready for battle, assuming that whatever is left of these cultists are just monsters at this point. If there's any of them even alive. I mean, from that record, I'm not even sure if any of them are still alive. They might just all be dead, or whatever's left of them are twisted monsters at this point. So, and then we're going to proceed in.
All right. You go down, you see what appears to be some sort of entryway. You go down into it before you are faced by a large stone door. There appears to be no handle. There appears to be no keyhole. What takes up most of it is an engraved relief of a sort of circular, five-headed, scaly creature. And at the bottom of the door, or whatever this is sort of like a stone basin that juts out from it.
And that's like blocking the door, or it is the door.
The door is basically a slab of stone with this sort of scaled creature on it. And then there's a basin attached to this slab of stone. There's no handle, there's no keyhole.
And it's not like there's a gap where it would open.
There are gaps around the sides of it.
But it's not like a double door where it goes like does the scaly creature look like a dragon?
Roll me an Arcana check.
Or a snake, because I'm a snake expert at this point. Like
it looks kind of like a snake, but it looks like a strange snake.
If only our boy was here to roll this.
It's hard to say. Definitely looks serpentine, though.
I look into the basin. Is there anything in there?
Empty. And dry. Despite the humidity of the region.
Are there any stains in it?
Roll a perception check. It's hard to make out. It looks relatively clean. There do appear to be some old, faded stains, but you can't quite make out what they might be.
I give a quick walk around the property. Is this clearly the only way in?
There are, you can see, like, the structure that is visible is in pretty bad repair, but unfortunately most of it seems to have sunken below the mud. And so, yeah, you can't see any other ways of egress except for this.
If I just push on it, nothing happens, I'm guessing?
It's pretty solid, yeah. Well made.
If I get my Warhammer out...
Yeah.
And I give it a really good whacking, does it seem to give it all?
No.
Admand looks into the basin and we weren't told anything about a fucking basin. Bullshit. I think he's going to put out a hand to Istria and say, "Your dagger, please."
She looks at you confused and obliges.
And he looks back at her and says, "I think it requires payment to enter." That is my guess.
I see.
Unless we just open sesame?
There's a slight breeze. And then nothing happens.
Oh, damn it. Admand is going to attempt to draw a little bit of blood from a finger or something. I don't know if he takes damage from this.
Roll me a d4.
Fuck.
I won't add your strength mod, though.
Just fucking hacks at his head.
We'll say d4 because that's the dagger's damage. We won't add your strength mod because you're not putting any force behind it. You take 4 slashing damage.
Fuck that hurt.
Yeah, and as the blood reaches the basin, you'll see as the relief of the five-headed creature begins to glow. One of them with a sort of deep red, one of them with like a deep green, another one with like a blackish aura, another one with a sort of faint white aura, and then the last one with a blue aura.
Wait, like what glows? What parts of it glow?
The heads and the necks of this serpentine scaled creature.
And there's lots of heads?
There's 5 of them.
Is this fucking thing, I can't think of its name. Isn't there like a dragon god that's like 5-headed and there's like a campaign where you fight it or something? I forget what it's called. This could be that. Okay, interesting. Maybe Solthraxus is just like another name. Because I don't recognize that name. Mm-hmm. But I've heard of
I think you're thinking of Tiamat.
Tiamat! So this isn't Tiamat?
Would you like to roll a religion check?
Well, because I wonder if Solthraxus is maybe like another name for Tiamat. I don't know. Yeah, I'll roll religion, sure.
Sure. Nah. Who knows?
Nah.
Some sort of the gods of non-men.
Yeah, it's not. It's
non-folk.
Non-dwarf.
Yep.
I literally only care about the dwarf gods because they have beards.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't have a beard.
True. No, not that you can see anyway.
Yeah.
As the heads begin to glow,
I hand my dagger back to Istria and I say, you might want to wash that.
The stone tablet descends and the dark corridor ahead. In the distance, you can see a slight green glow, and you hear now, stronger than ever, the fast beating.
I was thinking of using Billy's blood, but that'd be so fucked. Because I'm like, well, Billy usually doesn't get attacked in combat, so he doesn't really need his HP.
True.
But he's
so shell-shocked right now, you probably wouldn't even object.
He's so mentally... I don't want to scar him even more. Jesus Christ. So the door opens up.
Yeah, it lowers into the ground. There's a dark corridor ahead.
Okay. We go in.
All right. You enter in. Let me take Istria's token from the previous map, so it retains its properties. You open into a fine but simply carved chamber. And the first thing I'm going to describe to you is the figures that you see, because there are things stirring in this room. There are creatures of flesh, humanoids, that are barely clinging on. They are rotted and decayed to the point that they appear dead, but they still stand. But then there are 2 other creatures here who are not quite as badly decayed. They are still clearly visibly human, but they have sort of ashen skin. Parts of their flesh is beginning to like peel and strip off. But one of them is wearing a mask. Let me just get my notes for this. They are wearing a velvet mask with silver stitching on it, and on the corner of the mask, only one eye is visible, and the rest of the mask there's a stitching of the creature that you saw on the door out front, and the neck of this humanoid, you can see a patch of blackish scales, and all of these creatures start as you shine the light upon the chamber. And I think we should roll initiative.
Hello.
They do not respond. Oh, hold on a second. Actually, never mind. You're good, but don't keep rolling. So you've rolled Billy. Have you rolled all 3 of your guys?
No, I haven't rolled Billy yet.
You haven't rolled Billy. Okay. What did Admand get?
18.
18.08, yeah? Okay. And then what did Istria get?
6.16.
6.16. Okay, cool. Now you can roll Billy. Oh, I deleted the wrong Admand. Roll Admand again for me, and I'll correct it to 18.
Billy rolled a fucking 1. so funny.
Well, I mean, it's very appropriate for the way he's feeling right now. Alrighty. And initiative. Perfect. And then we'll go with this. All right. We are going to start off with Admand. You see these creatures. If you'd like any clarification on what they are, or if you'd like me to repeat anything, let me know, because obviously I went through that pretty quick and I lost my train of thought a little bit. So just hit me up if you have any questions. Otherwise, it's your turn.
Yeah. So which is the one that had the mask on?
The one with the yellow dot icon.
Okay. Well. And they all seem pretty fucking hostile, I'm guessing. Like,
Yeah, they're a little bit, like, surprised, and it feels like you've just opened up a hornet's nest, and they haven't quite reacted yet.
But the vibes are atrocious. Like,
they're awful. You're hearing this boom, 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 boom. It's just driving your, like, anxiety through the roof.
Oh god, it's like, what's that? It's like the Edgar Allan Poe story.
Oh yes. I think it's literally called The Beating Heart or something.
But the guy digs up the heart under the floorboards, and yeah. It's also a little bit like The Mask of Red Death, another Edgar Allan Poe story. So many Poe stories. Okay, I am going to have Admand move towards this guy, and fall upon him with my hammer. Get hammered.
Hammer down. 13 hits.
9.
9 damage as you cave this creature's head in, and you can feel... Oops, that's 1 less damage. And you can feel as there's definitely flesh and bone there, but it's weak and it's brittle, and a little bit of blood, but it looks like almost rotted and stale drips out of the creature's head as he falls to the ground, dead.
Let me make sure. Yeah, I moved 20 feet, so I can still move again. I'm going to move up to this one and attack.
Excellent.
Man, the extra attack's already become fucking insane.
It's so good, yeah. It's so good. You haven't even action surged with it yet.
Nope. Because I'm basically action surging every round!
Hell yeah!
Yeah, bro!
Yeah, that hits.
20.
Yeah.
11. Bro.
11 damage. Now, this creature has fully succumbed to the rot and seems a little bit more... Like, it's not more constitute, but it has less sort of damage to be done. Like, there's less to be protected here. All the flesh is rotten anyway, so as you hack chunks out of it, it doesn't seem to do as much as when you did it to the... the guy who is still pretty much human.
You're a strong one, aren't you? And that is Admand's turn.
This creature then, with the mask. This creature is going to pull from its belt a dark scimitar carved from black bone. And will walk towards you and attempt to hit you with that scimitar.
I'm being flanked.
6.
That messes.
All right. I'm going to turn on toggle advantage as well. Cool beans. All right. And that's the end of its turn. The zombie goes, and it will attempt to attack you, Admand. This is one of the broken character sheets, so I think it's going to auto-roll damage. We'll just have to deal with it. Oh, it doesn't. Nice. Slam misses.
Misses.
And then this next zombie also shambles up to you and attempts to attack you. Also missing. Istria, you've seen this scene on play. Admand's charged in, caved this cultist's head in, and then is being swarmed by zombies and this guy in a mask.
It's like, Admand has gotten so strong in the last week. Holy shit.
He's been through some shit.
Yeah. He reflected on his lessons. Istria is going to move in front of poor Billiam, and is going to take a. What do I want her to do? Is going to move there. Wait, let me move her back so I can measure this precisely. So she's going to move up here. She's going to move there, there. But if she does that, this is harder than they make it look. I'm going to go here. She is going to help as a bonus action and disengage as an action. And then I'm going to have her move another 10 feet back.
Great. Who did she help? Oh, which creature did she help on?
Against the masked figure.
Cool.
And then that is her turn.
All right.
I don't like the look of that one.
15?
15 won't hit Admand.
Great. Billy.
I think Billy's just panicked and is just sitting back.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe Billy. I think Billy hides behind Istria, like here. I think that's where he goes over here. Admand is going to. Admand's going to start by attacking the creature that he has advantage against.
All right. $14 hits.
14 damage.
14 Whoa. Damage. You again cave this creature's head in, smashing up his mask, and as it falls off, you see a decayed and slightly scaled face of a man.
Ugh. Weird. Second attack. I'm going to attack the zombie that I've already hit once.
Yep.
Nine to hit. Not very good.
That'll hit.
Wow! 10 bludgeoning.
10 bludgeoning damage. Okay. And you slay the zombie. It is dead again.
And I'm guessing zombies don't make morale checks.
No, they do not. Afraid. Okay, this zombie. Is that the end of your turn, actually?
Yeah, that is the end of his turn.
21!
That hits.
Alright. But 2 bludgeoning damage! Slams onto the shoulder of your armor. Istria.
Istria is going to move here, is going to attack this zombie.
Yep.
Oh! 6 damage. Not as much as I would hope for, but that's still decent. And is then going to help and then move away. And because she's already attacked it, is able to get out scot-free.
Missing.
Miss.
Billy. Admand.
Admand is going to attack the one that he has advantage on. $23 to hit.
That hits.
13 blood.
13 damage. Zombie staggers, but still stands.
You are strong. Admand's going to hit it again.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You have a second attack.
But I'm stronger.
16 hits. 11 damage.
Make con saves.
Slays the zombie.
Oh, what do they have to roll on that? I guess you don't have to tell me, but it must be like 15 or something. Okay. Here we go.
Okay. the end of your turn?
That is now Admand's turn.
Cool. It's Istria next.
Oh yeah, because
You killed the one who was up next. Yeah.
Istria's going to move here. Attacks. Oh yeah.
Hits.
Ooh. Here.
9 damage. Nice.
Helps and moves back.
Cool.
That's her turn. Misses.
Admand.
Admand attacks. Advantage.
Yep. 23 hits. 11 damage isn't enough. The zombie staggers, but still stands.
One last strike.
That hits. And the zombie falls. Defeated once more. We'll keep these initiative rolls, because we're in a dungeon.
A dungeon?
Alright. Feel free to explore, ask any questions of the landscape, if you have them.
I think Istria is just kind of shuffling around a little bit, shining her light in various nooks. I mean, is there natural light in here? Is there torches in here?
There are these green braziers that are lighting most of the room next to the altar.
Yeah, I mean, Admand would go over to the altar, see if the heart's there.
There doesn't appear to be a heart-like object in this room. You do still hear the beating, though, coming from the north, the isometric north, which is also actually true north.
Admand would give a quick search to the body. Search the bodies.
Yeah, the zombies don't have anything of value, but amongst the two humans, you find a total of 7 gold, 1 electrum, but I'd like you to note that it is a special electrum coin. It, too, has that creature on it, much like the mask and the door did.
So a special electrum.
Yeah. And then you also find 11 silver and 110 copper. And the gold, the silver, and the copper, they look of various mintings. They don't look too suspicious.
Sorry, 110 silver?
110 copper and
110 copper.
11 silver. It's just the electrum that stands out. The other coins are of wide minting. Some of them look a bit odd, but that's most coin you'll find. It's just that the one electrum piece that you find is recognizably the same 5-headed creature.
Okay. In that case, Admand is going to... this guy's weapon.
Yes.
Does it look special in any way, or is it literally just like a shitty piece of bone?
It's pretty crudely carved for a dwarf. I think a dwarf might consider it shitty.
All right, garbage. I throw it in the trash. It's +3 weapon.
Actually, it might be worth saying that it's not too dissimilar in design to the Baron's weapon. However, theirs was a little nicer.
I thought about that when you mentioned the look of it. Yeah, interesting, dude. Baron just is Solthraxis. This is the Baron's heart.
He needs to reunite with it.
Yeah,
or they need to reunite with it.
This could be bad if that's actually it. That's not good. Am I resurrecting a fucking dragon? Oh God. When the Baron said that the Solthraxis, that Solthraxis was their great enemy, it's like, I often struggled with my own self. Depression.
Yeah.
Self-hatred.
But I've worked through that now.
I really am my own worst enemy. Okay. So you said the heart was beating from the north. I mean, let's not cut to the chase. Admand's going to go to the north door and look to see if there's any traps on it or anything like that.
Sure, roll me a perception check.
That he could see. 15.
Door looks safe.
He's gonna open it.
All right, go ahead. There's a passageway leading further down.
Okay. Yeah, he will go and give it another perception check. See if this door's trapped.
Seems safe. Okay, you see a much larger hallway here. This one isn't descending. This one's, well, it's a little slanted because of how the temple has sunk, but is in its original state it would have been a flat hallway. There are these multicolored tiles on the floor. I'd ask you to hold right there. And at the edge there are two stone dragon heads. As you step onto that tile, your foot kind of sinks like you've hit into mud, and you feel a burning of acid upon you.
Pull me up! Pull me up!
I think you think you've got resistance to this damage, right? Because it's trap damage.
Is it a trap?
It's a trap for sure. Yeah. So if you do have resistance, you'll take 4 acid damage, and then between you and Istria, you're able to get yourself back to the previous tile. So we'll probably say like this.
And I don't get a saving throw against it. It's just automatic, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, 4 is not too. Istria.
You saw when you took the damage. I think you would have noticed that the eyes upon the dragon heads glowed green.
I don't like that. Admand is going to get out his 10-foot pole.
Cool.
He's gonna. Is it obvious when he touches it with the 10-foot pole that this shit?
The pole sinks in a little. Yeah,
it's
sure.
Liquid. He's gonna tap the dark tiles.
When you tap that tile, it's stone, definitely. When you tap that tile, it sinks into.
Okay, I step on the stone.
You're fine.
Oh. Follow me, people. I'm gonna tap here.
There, that's stone.
I'm gonna tap here.
That's bog.
Tap here.
Bog.
Tap here.
Stone.
Tap here.
Stone.
Tap here.
Stone.
Sorry, I wouldn't have been open the door yet.
Okay.
Oh, shit!
And as you open the door, as you open the door, you see in the bloodied and littered with bones ritual chamber, you see a beating, green, glowing stone heart sort of hovering above the ritual circle. Orvan hears the door and turns, and you see a man under a cloak covered in these. It looks green on the picture, but they're blackened, ashen scales. And in a hissed tone, he says, "What is the meaning of this intrusion? Have you come to join the ritual?"
Thraxus has sent me to aid you in his return.
Roll me a deception check.
So good.
Roll a good one.
Fuck. Istria! Quick, you say it instead. You're much better. Okay, here we go. Hey!
Oh.
Not terrible! Not terrible! But did it need to be a 20, I wonder?
So Thraxus sends his emissary in the form of a dwarf. Unusual. But I knew this day would come. Come forward, dwarf. Put your hand upon the heart.
he nods to Istria and says, and kind of nudges her, and Istria says, Solthraxis has sent us to take him to where he will be resurrected.
That's what Istria says?
Yes.
And where is that?
To Kundrakar.
The man, the creature, the thing gives you a puzzled look. He does not recognize this name.
It is the lair of Solthraxis' greatest enemy. He wishes to be resurrected there so that he can destroy the Baron.
If this is true, why do I not know the name Kundrakar? Why has Solthraxis not spoken it to me? Or spoken of this Baron?
The Baron is only the name I know for this enemy. Their enemy, their rivalry. I'm actually not even lying at this point. Their rivalry is ancient. The Baron has some other name, some true name that only Solthraxis knows, and I have not been told it. But the Baron rules the land to the south of here, and Solthraxis wishes to be taken into the Baron's land, where he can finally defeat him.
You speak of the Dragon Coast, the motherland.
Yes, did he say the Dragon Coast?
Yes.
It is closer to the Dragon Coast, yes.
And this Baron, he was responsible for my master's fall.
That is my best estimation of what happened, yes. I wasn't there. I am much younger than either, as I'm sure you are aware. But my best understanding is that they quarreled long ago in the ancient hours when you and I were not yet born, and that Solthraxis was defeated and has been plotting his revenge against the Baron this whole time. The Baron is merely what this entity, this elfling prince, refers to themselves as now. As I said, long ago, they had a different name. Solthraxis wishes to name them again and to defeat them. This is top tier lying right now!
Roll me a deception check and get good.
Can I have Istria roll it? Is there any way to have Istria?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Sounds like she's been taking the lead on this. Yeah.
This is huge. Yeah. Oh my god! This is the biggest lie ever. This is good. Oh, okay, it's good we found that book, because I wouldn't have been able to do this without the book. I would have just come in and been like, okay, here we go.
It's gonna be real good.
Oh, why can't I see my rolls? Wait, I think I fucking popped it out or something. Oh, I did. Okay, it's back. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna roll it. Her deception went up too. You know what? I'm using inspiration on this. Come on. Gotta use inspiration. I'm gonna cash in my inspiration, roll with advantage. Assuming I can do that, right?
Yeah.
I can do that on the deception check. Okay.
Yeah.
19.
Ooh.
Is it high enough?
Okay. Orvan considers your words, looks back at the heart. You can clearly... Istria is perceptive enough to know he's thinking through his years of devotion to Solthraxis. He's thinking about the conversations that they've had. Istria can recognize at this point that he's probably not going to believe her. But there is a lot of hesitation here. There is a pause that you can use to your advantage, but Istria knows that if she leaves it long enough, he's probably going to he's probably not going to believe her.
Can we get a surprise attack round in? Is that what you're implying? If we take the initiative now?
Yep.
I think we'll do that then. Admand goes nuts.
All right.
Admand goes sicko mode.
I'm going to roll everyone into initiative first. You keep yours, obviously, and they will not be able to act on their first round. Let's begin the fight. All right. Admand.
What is this thing in front of him? Is that cover? Like, can I stand there?
In front of Orvan?
This, like, could I stand here and attack him?
He'd have half cover. It's an altar, like the one you found in the other room.
What if I had moved here instead?
Still half cover. If you could move one more square up, then you'll get rid of the cover.
I don't think I think I was here.
Yeah.
I don't think I can move one more square up. How does action surge feed in with movement? It doesn't double your movement, right? It just gives you another action.
Another action, which you can use to dash if you haven't already dashed. It's also worth mentioning that this guy here is wearing a mask, much like the one in the first room.
He's a special one. Okay. Oh, he's a special one. Okay. I think that Admand is going to... Well, here's a good question. Would I have cover from Orvan, though, if I stood there? Like
from melee attacks, yeah.
Cool. Okay, fuck it. Let's do it. Admand's going to charge Orvan. Here we go.
Oh, 25. That definitely hits.
14 blows.
His chest, his black robes cave.
Time to pay the piper, old man. Admand is going to attack again.
That hits.
17 to hit. 10 blood.
No, my life's work.
Question is, do I action surge and finish him in one round, or do I give him an action? What if he has some crazy spell? I think he has spells. I think he definitely has spells. I don't want to give him the chance. I'm going to action surge.
Okay.
I'm going to attack him again.
Oh! Okay.
That's 17.
You still have one attack. We need to remember that, because something's about to happen.
Oh, fuck.
As Orvan
is going full worm.
Is slain. He slumps across the altar, and his blood begins to pour across it, and he says, "My life for Sulthraxis."
Oh shit, I wasn't supposed to kill him.
And as he dies, his body begins to glow with a deep green glow, and it explodes out and begins to cover all of the bones in those piles to your right and to your left, which begin to swirl around the bloody circle, the ritual circle, around the heart of Sulthraxis as the bones shape themselves into a draconic figure. And you see, as a creature forms itself from the bones, and a roaring, booming voice comes from the creature as it says, "You fool, Orvan! The ritual is not yet complete. You have summoned me too soon." He looks around the room and he notices Admand. "You have trespassed on my domain. I will level your cities. I will crush your empires. You will feel the wrath of Sulthraxis." And I think that's where we're going to end the session this week. We're going to pick up next time and see what happens next.
Huge. What a Cliffy.
I'm going to send you a full art picture of Sulthraxis, although he's in a swamp in this picture rather than a ritual chamber.
There you go. I have a raging Cliffy right now. Wow. All right. Sulthraxis He is. He's quite a beastie.
Yeah.
A villain, ancient villain, perhaps once attacked the Sword Coast. Is the vibe I get.
Oh.
I also love the. Oh, you're taking him to the Sword Coast? Technically, I think we'll be slightly close.
They said Dragon Coast.
Oh, the Dragon Coast.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know where the fuck that is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows where that is? Maybe that's what they used to call the Sword Coast back in the day. I don't know.
Hey, or maybe that's what they still call the Sword Coast because they're like into dragons and shit.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna take you off this page. Oh, I already did.
Dragon creeps.
We're gonna keep the initiative for next time. We'll roll Sulfraxis in, but you still have one attack. Maybe make a note of that somewhere. I don't know if it's gonna be relevant, but
I don't have any movement left.
No.
If Sulfraxis doesn't start in what's his name space, I wouldn't be able to use it.
No, although I don't think you used your free object interaction because I'm pretty sure you would have started with your shield and your hammer out. So maybe you could swap to a throwed weapon or something. Anyway,
that's not a bad suggestion.
Something for you to think about. Make a note that you've got an attack left, and we'll start on your turn. I'll get some XP. Did you enjoy the session this week?
Yeah, it was a really good session.
I'm glad.
About to put Sulfraxis in the soul grave. I'm gonna kill him. You're
gonna kill him.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Blood
from Blood God. You finally met the. Oh, I need to go get my because meeting the Baron. Yeah, meeting a Baron was one of the main quests for Kundarkar, so I'm gonna go. Give you the XP for that.
Just meeting the Baron.
Just meeting him, yeah, because, I mean, you got him as a random encounter that got generated because of your actions, but otherwise it's not a particularly easy thing to do.
Wow. That makes sense. Wait, so that was a random encounter? That was purely random?
Yep.
I could have gotten out of this place scot-free?
Yep.
Shit.
But hey, now you've got an extra quest. Think about all the XP you're going to get. Hey, maybe there's treasure in this temple. Here.
Yeah, there might be. And the Baron just wanted the heart, so I'm going to take the rest of the treasure.
Okay, so the quest name that you've completed is called the Baron of Stone Tooth.
Okay.
It's worth 800 XP, which you can distribute however you please. Okay, that's cool. I'll go check the XP for the zombies and the cultist men. I'm glad that this random encounter did get triggered though, because I think this is a kind of interesting little side plot. And you were curious about the Baron, and you've learned. I don't know how much you've learned, but you've at least sort of learned stuff.
Yeah, I mean, well, maybe I don't know. Maybe the Baron is. I assumed the Baron was super evil. Now I'm thinking the Baron is evil, but maybe not as evil as I thought, because at least the Baron is enemies with Sulfraxis, and I think Sulfraxis is cursed as fuck from everything we've read in that journal. So, I guess enemy of Sulfraxis is my friend. Is that maybe the rule of the day? We'll see.
Could be. Right.
I need to figure out what to do with these fucking heads now, because I met the Baron now. The whole point of giving the heads to the mayor was to be like, hey, you don't need to be afraid of this Baron. Okay, I killed the orc because I assumed the Baron was just like an orc or a vampire.
Yeah, which
the Baron is.
Let's not rule that out.
Let's not rule it out.
Let's not rule.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We don't know for sure.
Actually, even the orc thing, it could.
You're right. An orc vampire that takes the form of an elf.
That actually, I forgot when in the heat of the Sulfaxian appearance, I forgot to mention that one thing. First of all, Orvan has this like neck jewelry. He's got this like neck plate. But what's more pertinent is that as he fell on the altar, his hood kind of slumped back and sort of morphed into a hat, a little tiny little hat that fell off his head, and his appearance, that draconic appearance, shifted to what you've seen from the other cultists, like an ashen, corrupted man with little scales. And the hat fell onto the floor.
It's like a magic hat. Okay, we'll have to grab that.
That interrupted my train of thought. I was talking about. Oh yeah, I was saying that he could even still be an orc, the Baron, if his magic is strong.
It's totally possible. This is all possible.
Right, everyone 300 XP. I'm going to give it to Billy too. 300 XP for Istria, Billy, and Admand.
300 for Istria, Billy, and Admand.
Yep. And if you haven't distributed the 200 for your maps yet, obviously feel free to do that between sessions. You've got the 800 to distribute from the quest. Feel free to do that between sessions. And feel free to level... I guess you can't really level Billy up on your own. So if you just check me a message at some point in the week, we can level up Billy together between sessions.
All right,
and
sounds good. And
are we good?
I don't think Faldor has leveled up.
Oh, that's good. Well, it's good for the sake of ease.
Let me check. I don't...
Yeah.
Let me double check what the X-Pizzle...
It's 6,500 for 5.
Yeah, I don't think... I think Faldor is already 4, so Faldor doesn't need leveling up. So it's just Billy. And if we resurrect Dorian and Kratz.
True. I mean, the magic of Solthraxis, it could perhaps be a pathway to abilities some would consider unnatural.
Some would consider unnatural. Could I learn them from the Jedi?
Oh,
the Jedi.
I also appreciate there were 2 side rooms today, and we might get to them next week. But I appreciate my main quest is here. I'm gonna go do it. I appreciate
That's what I was told.
Yeah,
that's what I was told.
Can I get a link to that?
What happened in the last dungeon is I expended a lot of blood and treasure on side quests. Okay? I'm not going to make that mistake again. If you want to do the side quests at the end, great. But use your main energy to find the important shit. That's
a lesson well learned. Yeah, I like that. Can I get a link to that spreadsheet at some point? Because I don't think I've actually ever had it. You can say no if you want to keep it private, but
it is... not online, but I could copy it and put it on Google Sheets. It's a spreadsheet on my computer, but I could give it to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me.
Are you using Excel?
It's Excel. It's Excel.
There is. You don't necessarily
just copy and paste.
You can, but I don't think you need to put it on Google Sheets. I think you can just send me like you can just link it up to OneDrive or something.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Let me figure out how that works.
Yeah. No rush on it. The last thing then to ask that there is a rush on is: are we good for next week? Can we check the date? I believe it's the 11th.
Yeah, we should be good.
All right, sick.
Sick.
All right, cool. I'll let you know whether it's the early or the late time, but I'm good for the day. Cool. Anything else you want to say to the people?
Yeah. So hail Sothraxis.
Hail Sothraxis. We'll see you next week for his ascension. Peace out, guys.